Welcome back. Now, 16 people were killed in a horror crash on the N3 South in Pietermaritzburg early this morning. The multi-vehicle crash involved 2 trucks, a bakkie, 2 minibus taxis and 5 other cars. It's unknown how many passengers were in the taxi at the time. eNCA senior reporter Dasen Thathiah is on the ground and he's tracking the story for us. Dasen, earlier on when we got a chance to speak to you, you gave us an aerial view of the traffic that had been backed up as well as part of where this crash took place. You are currently on the ground. Tell us what you are seeing.
Heidi, well, the mop-up operations are currently ongoing. You'll see behind me that teams are here trying to move that heavy vehicle. We showed you some of it when we were flying above it. At the same time, this road remains closed because this looks like a task that is going to take a while. Heidi, I also want to answer a question that you asked me earlier. And at that point, I didn't have a number for you, but I've since received a number from some of these officials saying that at this point, it looks like at least 12 people were injured, in addition to those 16 people that had passed away. Of those 16 people that had passed away, 7 of them were women and 9 of them were men. That child that we spoke about, the 7-year-old child, had escaped that vehicle. So that quantum vehicle, which was the worst off in this accident, that was where the child escaped from. And officials were also telling us that that child was in fact rescued by an RTI member who had been here. So really horrible, horrible scene to be at, Heidi. I'm looking around and I've been walking around here just taking a look at what's around me, and I see that there's debris everywhere. There are still some items, personal belongings that are alongside. I'm just trying to get you slightly closer to that truck so you can see what happened. These vehicles, these heavy vehicles, there were 2 of them. One of them was carrying coal and the other was carrying maize. And to give you a sense of how heavy these vehicles were, each of those loads were around 34 tons. And that's a lot. And look at this road construction that is.
It seems as though we've lost you, Dasen. It might be the movement. I'm not sure if you can still hear me, but maybe if you can just get a little closer and just actually show us. Okay, there you are. I'm not sure if you can still hear us, Dasen. Perhaps you could just continue.
Sorry about that, Heidi. I think the signal is also being interrupted by these trees. I was saying that we are right up close near one of the heavy vehicles that was here. You'll see some of those items now being offloaded. They need to empty this vehicle and then remove it. That is going to be quite a task. But before we lost our connection, Heidi, I was talking about this road and how treacherous this section of road becomes, particularly at night. You know that this accident took place at around 3 in the morning, and there's construction taking place on the N3. Visibility is generally poor, and as a result of that, you do find these accidents taking place. But in this particular instance, the initial reports point to a truck losing control, and as a result of that truck losing control, there was then a pileup and other vehicles slammed into that truck. And while all of this was happening, there was also then a secondary accident. So that's how that's what the preliminary information says right now. But as you know, especially with an accident like this and with such a high number of fatalities, there is an investigation that is underway. In fact, in this case, there is a team that will be dedicated to looking into this. That's what the Transport Department says, to try to get to the bottom of exactly what transpired here.
You know what's so tragic here, Dasen, is that those people in the minibus taxi were burnt beyond recognition, and it must be so difficult for families that are perhaps unaware of what's happened to now need to get to this this crash scene and need to say my family member was in this crash. Perhaps just speak to us about how badly burnt that minibus taxi was. I'm not sure if you got a chance to actually see that.
No, it was really in a bad state. We did actually get a glimpse of it earlier on.
I think we're just losing Dasen here. I think the connection is quite bad where we are, but we got the gist of what's basically going on there. So we do understand that it was just a horrible crash that took place with multiple vehicles and trucks, and we'll definitely be checking in with Dasen Thathiah. I literally have goosebumps. It's such a tragic story, and we do know that a 7-year-old was basically rescued from that minibus taxi by an official that was also at that scene.